What's up? I'm Ashley Moan, and today we're with Peter Cole. We're going to be discussing how to contact your legislators nationally and locally. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Ashley.
So let's get started. And first, where should someone locate their area legislator, whether it be nationally, locally? How can one go about finding that?
Well, that's a great place to start, Ashley. The easiest place to do that probably is go to the website congress.gov.
Okay.
Congress.gov. You click on the members section in the first box, and then in your state in the second box, and it'll bring up the whole list of your legislators, your congressmen people, not the state legislators, but the Congress people, and that's the easiest way. And then you can go to each one of their individual websites. Of course, those all differ. You know, each congressman has a slightly different website, so you can go there and find out how to contact them very easily there. There's also at that same home page of Congress.gov. You can go down to the very bottom of that page, and there's a link to state legislature websites. So if you want to contact the same thing, if you want to contact your state legislators, you can find out who your local legislator is and talk to them.
So talking to them or reaching out to them, what are some tips, maybe proper techniques that you would go about reaching out to them?
Well, it's as I mentioned earlier, the website that each congressperson has provides really an easy way to send an email message. That's the easiest way to do it. You can very quickly contact them, give them the subject matter you want to talk about, and if you do use that way to communicate, just be as precise as you can. If there's a particular bill you support, tell them what it is, and if you can, the name of it, or if you know the bill's number, whether it's a House Bill H123, for example, or Senate S456. I mean, just whatever it is. Then state why you support it, or don't support it, if as the case may be, and ask them to support your position. A mailed letter is also effective. It's a little more work, but it's certainly taken into account very, very well, because if you take the time to do that, they listen to it. And that works particularly well if you have maybe a short story to tell that supports your position. You can also call. There's a phone number on each website. You'll likely be forwarded to a member of the congressperson's staff who's familiar with agriculture issues, and you'll be given the opportunity there to express your views. And then finally, perhaps the best or most effective method is through a personal contact. Do you know someone, either a member or someone on the member's staff, someone who knows the congressman or congresswoman personally? Who knows? You might get to talk with him or her, or even meet them in person. If you do, just remember their time is usually tightly scheduled. So be polite, but get to the point as quick as you can.
Very good. Thanks for those tips. What are some current issues or topics that reaching out, what can someone talk about today? Or
Sure. And then there's a number of current topics here that are pretty hot right now that really need to be addressed and are ongoing right now in Congress. Milk pricing. I mean, we all know that. That's a big one. We need to work on that. As we all know, the Margin Price Protection Program, MPP, is a dismal failure at this point. There are several proposals to modify that, hopefully to bring it back to a little closer to what it was originally envisioned that might work. Those are wending their way through the congressional process. Some people feel that a supply management system might be a good thing to consider, and that's certainly a possibility too. But currently there's really nothing going on in Congress at this point, so that might be a tall order. So. Another one here, immigration is a big one. Certainly we all, most farmers know that the availability of immigrant laborers is being tightened up with a crackdown on illegal immigration. Nobody wants illegal immigrants coming to this country, but we know that we also need those guys in here to help us milk our cows every day. So there is several different bills in place now that are being considered now. One, for example, would create a new visa program similar to the H-2A program right now that helps seasonal migrant workers, but doesn't really address the needs of longer-term dairy workers. So that's an option here that you might want to look into to support. And then one other one, certainly not the last one, but one of the other big ones is the NAFTA, or the North American Free Trade Agreement negotiations. They're ongoing right now between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, and we need to make sure that those are successful, because Canada and Mexico are two of our biggest trading partners, and they're our neighbors. So the NAFTA agreement has been going on now for a number of years and has worked. There's differing opinions on that, but in general, it's worked out pretty well. And we need to keep a lot of those things in there and improve some things. Particularly, we all know, we've all heard, or even personally experienced some of the issues with the Canadian dairy milk pricing just in the last few months. So as the supply of milk tightens up, it becomes increasingly important that we make sure that those negotiations go successfully.
And thanks for joining us for another episode.